Since earlier I did my top 5 worst movies of 2025, why not give my top 5 favorite movies of 2025? Be sure to leave your list down below. At number 5, I have Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. I'm a huge fan of Guillermo del Toro's work, and I thought this was a very interesting new take on the Frankenstein story, where the majority of the movies are very much horror takes on the character, where this one takes a more tragic approach to the character, where I thought all the performances were great, especially by Jacob Elordi as Frankenstein's monster. The costuming design is perfect, and I loved pretty much everything about this movie. And even though it's like near 3 hours long, it never bored me. Number 4, I have K-pop Demon Hunters. If you saw my top 5 most surprising movies of the year, this was my number 1, and it ended up actually being in my top 5 favorite films this year. Where it has beautiful animation. I'm not a big K-pop guy. I don't hate the music by any means, but I just don't listen to it very often. But all the songs that you had in here were bangers. I loved all the characters. And man, I cannot wait for K-pop Demon Hunters 2, but we have to wait so long for that. Number 3, I have Thunderbolts. This essentially turns a bunch of C-list Marvel superhero, anti-hero characters into A-listers with this movie, where the team dynamic is very strong. There's surprisingly some very emotional moments, and I loved the Void as a villain, where I can't wait to see these characters again in Avengers Doomsday. My number 2, I have James Gunn's Superman. This and probably my number 1 are very interchangeable because I loved both of these movies, but I put this here, where I've actually watched it countless times since the first seeing it in theaters, and it actually has started to become one of my favorite comic book movies of all time, where I even prefer this to Man of Steel now, which is crazy. My number 1 for me, I have Sinners. The music in this was fantastic, where if that doesn't win Best Music at the Oscars have truly failed. Michael B. Jordan does great at playing Smoke and Stack. Vampire stuff I loved, and even beforehand when we don't get to the vampire stuff, but when we have all the blues music and the juke joint stuff, I loved that as well. So easily my number 1 of the year, Sinners.